guys, welcome to episode 8, episode 2 with our new co-host, Emily.
Hey.
I love that you're in this as a host. I
know.
think it's so cool.
I'm like, sorry, Jordan. Your spot's been taken.
I texted Jordan and I said, okay, after we filmed that last episode, I was like, okay, we need a studio and microphones and it's just us three all the time.
100%.
Because that would be so fun.
The energy that we create when all three of us are together
It's
as well.
wild.
It just bounces off each other.
Yeah.
So crazy.
And maybe we should do somewhere all of us are drinking wine because we get pretty wild.
Yeah, 100%.
So
we should
much
call
fun.
it something like Wine with Wines.
What? Because we're whining?
Yeah. I'm a whinger.
Nice, we are whingers. So today we're not going to whinge though. So this is going to be another one where I have a few stories to tell, but also I wanted to ask Emily a question. Another sort of question that I haven't actually asked you and we haven't dove into. You've told me stories here and there, but I really just wanted to ask what the hell is it like to be a stripper? What is the stripping world? Tell me some crazy stories.
Honestly, being a stripper was probably the funnest and coolest decision I ever made for myself. Literally changed my whole life, and I think it literally shaped who I will be for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing it for 2.5 years, and over that time I think I worked at 6 different clubs.
Wow.
Yeah.
All in Brisbane?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you would have got to know everyone.
I was like a club slut. I would just bounce back and forth, because I believed that it was better for me to chase the money.
Yeah, okay.
So some clubs pop off in seasons, and then some clubs are better during, for instance, the last club that I worked at was on Street in Brisbane, which is right near the stadium.
So that's during, a main street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So during footy season, that club is
going off.
Period. But off footy season, because it's not in the valley, the foot traffic is a lot slower.
Wow.
So you just tend to, each to their own. Some girls are ride or die with their club. Loyalty is over anything, over money. But girls like that usually have a lot of regulars.
Yeah, okay.
Who can support them on the slower seasons. Whereas for me, I was I'm not making any money.
Yeah.
Let's go. Pack your bag. We're going. And I would take me and a bunch of bunch of the girls that I was friends with.
Yeah.
And 3 or 4 of us would just move clubs all the time.
Wow.
But
and strip club owners / managers don't mind that?
no, they do.
Oh, they do. Oh,
yeah.
shit.
It's it causes some drama.
Is it you're owned by them if you work there?
They like to say no, you're a sole trader, but they're if you work here, you can't work anywhere else.
Wow.
And if you get caught working somewhere else without letting them know that you're going for a trial somewhere or anything like that, they'll be you're not coming back.
Wow.
I went to my OG club, the first club that I ever worked at. I was there for probably majority of the time, I'm gonna say 65-70% of my stripping world.
Yeah.
I spent at this one club. And thanks for turning that seat heater down. My ass was on
Sorry.
fire.
I do that every time I leave the heat seats on.
Yeah, I was there, and then I stayed there with them during COVID. I went to another club, tried it out, didn't really like it, went back, and then the money was really shit, so I went back to this other club, and they were you are never coming back here. You're
really?
banned. I wasn't even allowed to go in there as a customer. They fully banned me. Yeah.
Wow.
They're super protective of their customers.
Yeah, okay. So they wouldn't want you taking their regulars either.
Yeah, because
True.
if you if I have a regular and I move clubs and I'm in contact with them and I'm oh, come see me at this club, they're going to miss out on thousands of dollars.
True. Oh my
So
gosh.
they like to be very territorial with their strippers, with their girls. But if we keep stopping and you see us waving, it's because we're sitting in a car park.
Yeah.
And
for those listening, we're literally in a car park because this is where the most light is, and we have to keep telling people that we're not going.
They're just watching us with this big fluffy microphone in the front. But yeah, so working at different clubs, I think I got like to have a really cool experience because I got to work with different girls all the time, different managers, different like environments. Because once I got comfortable, I got really lazy.
Yeah.
And I would just wait for money to come to me because like the turnover rate in the clubs is like constantly moving.
Because
like,
if you experience it being that easy, you're going to just like wait for that every time.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be like, I've had it be easy, so I'd rather it just be easy.
Yeah, I'd rather not sit there and talk to someone who is going to be like, oh, I can't afford to buy a dance, but I'll get you a like $10 drink. It's like,
what?
No.
You're like, I get free drinks. I don't
literally,
need you.
I don't need you to fucking spend any money on a drink. I can just go to the bar and get one myself.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so I'm pretty crazy.
Wait, so what's with like guys like that mainly who go to clubs? Are there a lot of guys who come in with like no money and expect you to still give the full experience?
Yeah, 100%. They want like the full girlfriend experience. Like they want you to sit there, talk to them. They want to get to know you before they buy you. Like it's
What?
like it's like walking. They want to like window shop first.
Oh my god, that's
and then
cringe.
it's guys like that most of the time. After like half an hour of wasting your fucking time, he's like, oh, I just don't have any money. And it's like, I've just sat here for half an hour of my time. I get 8 hours if I'm here for the whole shift. If I'm here and I'm spending half an hour with you and you give me nothing, like you've absolutely
It's just like we know that's what a strip club is. Like you go to a strip club to spend money on strippers, right?
Most people actually don't know that, apparently.
Oh
Most
my
people
God.
just, like the amount of, a lot of young guys come in and they're like, oh, we just want to have a drink with our mates. And it's like, go to a bar.
Yeah.
And
there's a show happening here that you've got to pay for.
Yeah. That's like one of the most frustrating things about being a dancer is that you're not on an hourly rate.
Yeah.
You have to pay to be at work. So you have to pay a door fee. Depending on what club you work at, it can be anywhere between like $15 to all the way to $100 depending where it is.
You don't get paid an hourly fee. You don't get paid anything.
No. There'd be nights where I'd go to work on a Saturday and sometimes door fee would be like $90 and I'd make no money. I've already paid for parking, fuel. I've probably bought myself 2 drinks because I'm so fucking bored.
Yeah.
So I'm already down maybe like $150 and I could walk out with nothing.
I did not know that. I really thought strippers got got hourly fees.
No. And a lot of clubs fine you if you break rules. So like, this is probably one of the craziest things that people don't know about strip clubs.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not every club. Like there's lots of clubs that don't do fines because it's not actually a legality and it's actually illegal for them to be doing it.
Yeah, you can't just be giving out fines.
But they, like the OG club that I worked at, they had a really like strict fine system where like anywhere between like during COVID when we were like on and off, I would have like my mask down. They'd fine me $50, and like there would be like,
wait, you had to wear masks in the strip club?
Like when COVID first was like, okay, everyone can go out, but you have to sit, no dancing. Like
strippers had to wear masks.
Strippers literally had to wear masks, and like sometimes it was a good thing because like some guys' breath just fucking you get like really close to them, but you're wearing a mask, so you just sit there like this because you can't understand anything you're fucking saying because it's so loud.
And you can't see the mouth move.
No,
so you're just yeah, babe.
Hey.
What the fuck?
Like, yeah, it's crazy. But then sometimes the fines, like we had a no-show fine. So if you had rostered on, we did our rosters like weekly. So like you'd text on the Saturday if you were working that week. Like it was pretty easy. You could roster on whenever you wanted. If you didn't go to work and you had rostered on, there was like periods of time where we were getting fined $500 if we no-showed.
What?
Yeah.
500. You had to pay them $500 if you didn't go to work.
Yeah.
Okay, that's definitely not allowed though.
Yeah.
Like businesses surely, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't think private businesses can fine like sole traders for shit like that. That's
but it's
wild.
like if you don't pay the fine, you can't work there until you pay the fine.
I guess you lose your job.
So sometimes they would be nice and they would say you can pay it off over the night.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'd work 2 shifts and do dances, and every time they just take the money.
Did you ever get any fines?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah, I went on like a tangent where I was just calling in sick all the time.
Oh,
because I was just like the club had just opened next door, like a nightclub had opened next door, and it was like mint. Like this club was just going off. Period. It was so good when it first opened, and we would just we'd get ready for work. We'd go for drinks before work, like fully in the mindset, like got our bags, like in our pajamas, like just like
we're going to work.
Trackies, like thongs, literally just like we're going to work. And then we just have one too many drinks and we're like, fuck it, let's go clubbing. Like, and this club knew us, so they would just let us in our like
pajamas.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, we would get fined a lot. And because we were like the girls who had been working at that club at that time for the longest, they would make an example out of us too.
Wow.
Like they would be like, you can't act like this. So like probably I reckon my biggest fine was $250.
Oof, that would
but it was
sting.
like a lot, like a multiple times.
Yeah.
Because I just wouldn't learn, because I was like, fuck it, I'll just make it back anyway.
You just wanted to go clubbing.
I just wanted to live my life.
So stripping also, because you're like in a nightclub scene, did that mean that you just always went clubbing? Like you were just always partying?
It felt like it. I felt like I partied straight for 3 years, and like not just like one night out, like 4 nights out a week. Most of the time I'd work 4 or 5 nights a week, and I would get obliterated. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Obliterate.
You
like
get more than that though. Partying with you is like
dangerous.
It is dangerous. Because like we can all party, like in our prime when we would party all the time. We can literally keep drinking, keep like, you know, stay up all night, whatever. But you're like, we're all like at the peak, right? We're done having drinks, everyone's good, but you're like lit and you're just having a good time laughing with your friends. And Emily's still over there just like necking cruisers.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
But yes, I was really bad, and I honestly believe I had like a borderline alcohol addiction when I was working in the club, because I couldn't work sober. I tried so many times, and my confidence would just go out the window. I wouldn't end up talking to anyone. I'd just sit there until someone would buy us drinks, and then I was like, okay, now I can work. Yeah. Like it was like liquid courage. Wow. But yeah, it was really bad for my health.
So what's like the worst, I guess like the worst night you ever had, like worst kind of client or worst kind of like situation?
So I was actually really lucky, and I didn't get a lot of really bad nights, bad customers. There was one time that probably like my 4th or 5th week working. So I was like brand new baby stripper. Didn't really like, I went out and I was like, I would party and stuff, but like nothing like you do in the club. Like the drink, I feel like the drinks are different. They make them different. Like, I don't know. And anyway, trigger warning, just in case anyone's listening. So we got booked into like a VIP. So my club had like a VIP room where it had its own bar, its own bartender, and that's where they'd spend big money. So they would like come in, they'd pay up to thousands and thousands of dollars to book girls for hours. It was like $360 for an hour per girl. Wow. So they would book us for like 5 hours. There was 3 of us. So that's already like, I can't do math.
I'm so bad at math.
That's already
a lot of money.
A lot of money. Yeah. Plus they have to buy a bottle. Yeah. And these guys had no issues doing that, honestly. They were like, fine, whatever. Drop this money, and then we were just drinking, and this is before I learnt that I need to get my own drinks from the bar. Like, so I would just like sit in the booth, and the guys would like bring over the drinks. And I remember just laying on the ground, like dancing sort of thing, but I was like really starting to like feel like fucked up. Oh my god. But we just kept drinking anyway, because I was like, I'm safe, I'm at work, there's cameras, nothing bad can happen to me. And I don't remember anything after that. Like it literally just went nothing. Like so the next day I came conscious at 12 p.m. the next day. So I went to work at like 7 or 8. And then probably by 9:30 I was booked in the booth.
Yeah.
By, I reckon, 10 o'clock to 12 p.m. the next day, completely blackout. One of the girls had ended up taking me back to her house in, like, North Brisbane. So I was, like, in her bed, and I, like, I hadn't slept. Like, I wasn't sleeping. I was so fucked up. Apparently, she just couldn't get me in an Uber, nothing. Like, I was just, like, floppy as.
Oh, my God.
And, so I woke up in her bed.
But you were, like, out of it.
And I was like, where the fuck am I? Like, just this girl only just started at the club too. Like, she knew me from, like, social media and stuff, but, like, we weren't really, like, friends. And I remember calling two of my friends. I was like, what suburb am I in?
Yeah.
Like, where am I? She's like, we're in North Lakes. Like, we're, like, and I was like, fuck, I live in the Gold Coast. I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to get home?
At least you were safe, though.
Yeah.
At least someone took you. Like, what happened in between? Did anyone know?
Well, when I ended up getting home, I ended up getting picked up. They got dropped to my mum's house, which is halfway. And then I got inside and I was, like, fully, like, having a fit, like, shaking. I was, like, frothing at the mouth, like, literally sitting on my mum's couch. And she's like, what the fuck happened to you? And I was like, I don't know. I couldn't, like, talk. I was, like, just stuttery and just, like, literally just was awful. And then she ended up putting me in the shower and she turned me around and I had bruises like this, probably, like, as big as a soccer ball on each one of my bum cheeks, but, like, black, purple, green, like, full on, not like little poke bruises, like, looked like I had been, like, smashed on, like, the ass with a hammer just from these guys slapping my ass. My mum ended up taking me to the hospital. She got, like, kit done.
Oh my God.
And then I ended up going back to the Gold Coast, and at that point I was dating a girl down here, and I got into bed with her and I, like, rolled over because I was, like, just felt like I was dying. And she, like, looked at my butt and she just bawled her eyes out. She was like, what the fuck happened to you? And I was like, I don't know. And, like, nothing happened to me, and I know that nothing happened to me because I, like, TMI, I had my period, so I had tampon in, so, like, that wasn't moved or anything.
You didn't feel like that anything happened?
No, but I just had really big bruises on my butt. And then I made, like, a group chat with the two girls that I got booked with, and I was like, guys, do you remember what happened? They both said no. They both had bruises all over them as well. So I guess you could say, like, I was assaulted, like, in the club, but like, I also would have been like, yeah, hit me again, because, like, guys love to slap your ass.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So, oh shit, the lighting's doing that thing.
Maybe we should turn this on. This is cute.
If you're watching, the lighting's changed because they're dark as hell. So, oh my God, okay, so guys aren't allowed to touch you?
They are allowed to touch, so they're allowed to touch you anywhere in Queensland. They're allowed to touch you anywhere except for, like, where, like, your G-string sits.
Okay.
So they can't touch between your legs.
But they can touch
your ass. Touch you everywhere else. They can touch your ass, they can touch tits, like.
So were they do you think, like, they were just being, like, super overly physical with you, and you were, like, obviously blacked out that you didn't know what was happening? Yeah. Not that that's alright, I'm just trying to, like.
Yeah, 100%, that's what would have happened. It just, like, they would have been, like, slapping their ass, and, like, me being a brand new stripper, I would have been like, this is fine, not knowing how bad it actually was because I was so drunk. But we believed that we were, like, spiked with GHB.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, I honestly didn't really have. I had customers that pissed me off, and, like, customers I'd get kicked out because they were just, like, inappropriate, or they'd try to break the rules, or they'd just be, like, just really gross to deal with. They say really gross things, but that was, like, the most serious thing that ever happened, and, like, I never let anything like that happen again.
Yeah. So what, you get your own drinks and stuff?
Get my own drinks, like, just, wouldn't let myself in the position where something like that could happen to me.
Were you okay afterwards? Like, how did you feel, like, about, like, that? Did you want to stop doing that job, or, like?
It scared me, but the way that everyone else at the club had reacted when I went back the next night, because I went back kind of also to, like, piece together what maybe had happened, and, like, the manager at the time was just like, it happens. Which is such a shame to have to say that, but it does, because anyone can slip something in someone's drink. Like, it's just like one of those things you have to be so cautious.
Careful, yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty
That's fucked.
wild. That's probably like, the worst thing that happened to me in the club. 100%. And that happened so early on that the rest of my stripping career, I was just like, that really made me have thick skin, I guess. That made me really be like, if you want to work in this industry, you have to know the dangers, you have to know how to get yourself out of situations. I like started sharing my location with everyone, like all my friends. Like, every time I go to work, I was like telling you guys, like, I'm going to work, like, I'll be home tonight, or like, this is where I'm going, like, just in case. And nothing else like that happened to me ever again.
Far out. That is fucked. I can't, like, you just can't even believe that shit still happens, but it does. It does. Absolutely happens all the time. Yeah. And you have to be so careful. Yeah,
it was crazy. But I also had some really fucking cool things happen to me as well. Like, you know, I had this one, like, regular who, he was from up north, and he would come down every month, and he would just spend, like, tens of thousands of dollars in one night. And he was just like this little old guy who just partied hard. Every night they'd come in, we'd play AC/DC on the speaker, like, he would have his shirt off, he would just be living his best life. He pretty much like started like coming in and like getting me, and then he'd be like, I'm bringing 5 people in tonight, can we get like 2 girls for each guy? So they'd be like in this little tiny room, like 40 people, and like half of us fully naked, like the girls. And he would just give me like a limit that he'd put on his card, and then when that would run out, I'd be like, you have to beat that name out. I'd be like, oh, can we do like another 5? And he's like, yeah, just tap it. And I was like, how do you have so much money?
Yeah. Like, was it crazy to like see that much money as well? Yeah. Like being like passed around just so casually.
Money becomes like disposable. Yeah. When you're in that industry. And I wish that I had a different mindset during that time. Yeah. Because as much money as like the club was making and stuff, like, I was like killing it. Yeah, you were. Like, there was fucking periods of time where the amount of money that I was making was like stupid. And I wish that I had saved it, but I was in such a mindset. I never had money growing up. Like, we came from a family where we had everything we needed and nothing more. And, like, my parents, like, lived week to week. Yeah. So, when I started getting all this money, I would be like... We don't know
what to do with it. Yeah. Like, I'm the same. Me and Emily literally grew up and are from the exact same area, and it is not a high income. I wouldn't even really call it like a middle class area back then.
It's like just below middle class.
Yeah, it's below middle class, and we were the same. Yeah, lived week to week. Like, my family, we never had money growing up. So if I saw that kind of money, like, I'd be like, oh, what the hell? Like, I'm just spending this. I would not think, oh my God, I got to save this and do something, because we weren't taught that. That's not how we grew up.
Yeah, and I think also because I was like, it's fine, I'll make it again tomorrow. I would just go, and I don't even have anything to show for it. Yeah. That's like the shitty thing is, like, I didn't invest any of it, like, I didn't buy anything, like, I literally just spent it. I spent it, but I lived exactly how I wanted to.
Oh, you had the best time. You had the best fucking time.
And it was just, it was crazy. But I definitely, if you ever come into like a stream of income where it's like a lot more than what you're used to.
Literally.
And not that I'm anyone to be giving out any sort of money advice, because I am not a money guru. So if you come into a lot of money and you've never had it before, my word of advice would be save it. Yeah. Even if you don't want to save all of it. Even if you're coming like
smart with it.
Just be smart with it, because I wish.
Literally.
I kind of am glad that I don't have any like receipt of how much money I've made.
Otherwise you'd be so mad at yourself.
I would fucking.
I literally, so similar story when it comes to like money coming in, but totally different world of making money. When I used to work as an extra on film sets, you make a lot of money doing that. Like, it's a kind of lifestyle where it's, if you can find a good film to work on that's filming for like months and months and months. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I was an extra on Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know if that's
Say whatever you
I
want.
think I can say it.
I'm sure Johnny Depp's not listening.
No, probably not. And it's good money. So that was like a near year-long job because it's like such a big, huge film, and it's like a massive, it's a massive production. So they need a lot of extras for it, right? So you get on these jobs through like your agent and you're like, oh my God, like this is insane. I'm going to be making so much money because they pay really, really well. And so it's a good industry to get into, but the jobs are few and far between, especially in Australia. Like if you live in LA, I'm sure you can be an extra for your whole life. But in Australia, it's like a big film comes here and everyone who's an extra goes on that film. And then after, or maybe before Pirates of the Caribbean, it was like San Andreas filmed here and then Thor filmed here. But like once they're gone, like
You have to wait until the next one comes.
Yeah, so
and you don't know when it's going to be.
Yeah, so you can't, it's people do it, but you can't be an extra all the time. So I found this thing where like I was getting like a lot of money, to me was so much money, and I just was like, oh my God, I'm fucking rich.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna spend my money. And I'm just like, I did a lot of things. Like I went on trips and bought whatever I wanted and literally did whatever I wanted. But then at the end of it and the job's gone and you're like, oh my God, I have nothing to show for that. And I didn't save any of it. I didn't do anything with that money. But then you're an idiot because another job comes and you get money again and you do the exact same thing again.
Honestly, you don't learn.
Exact same thing. You don't learn. Maybe we would learn
Lots
now.
of people probably do.
Yeah. Lots of people probably do learn from it. I wish we learned from it because now I'm like, you know, chasing money and success again, but in a different way where it's like,
yeah,
it's not like a fun, like, oh, I've just got this job and I'm getting all this money from it. It's more like we're so much more serious about making money now.
Yeah.
And if we do make money now, hopefully we would do something smart with it.
Honestly, I would like to think so.
Yeah, me too.
100%.
I hope that we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be rich.
Oh, yeah. Like 100%. I don't know how.
I don't have a choice. Like
But I will be, and I've always said this, I'm going to be the stepping stone between my family not having money and my kids knowing
100%.
Like knowing how to save money, be good with money and everything. Like I just want to learn as much as I can. Even if I don't end up rich.
Yeah.
I want to be able to set up my kids to make sure that they have money.
Me too.
And, you know, things that I'm not very good with money and stuff, but I feel like I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to like taking on lessons. Even if I don't apply them to myself, I feel like I learn from it, and I'm like, I push my sister so hard. I'm like, save your money, save your money, save your money. Because I'm just like, I want you to like excel and live and be comfortable and like it's
and not end up in situations like we were in.
100% where it's like I have all this money and then it's like, fuck, where's it gone?
Yeah.
I swear I didn't even do anything.
I'm like that to anyone younger than me, like especially my siblings or anyone that I've ever worked with who's younger than me. I'm like, what are you saving for? Like, are you saving any of your money? And they're like, no, I'm just like doing this. And I'm like, please do something better with your money.
Take 10% of it and just put it away.
Save
every
it.
week.
Don't touch it. Even though we're not good examples of that.
I can't say anything. I literally am still fucked with money.
Yeah.
But this is the year of change for me. This is the year where I really shifted into gear.
I feel like we already have to. Like, 2023 has already been so hectic, and it's only March. So much has already happened.
So fucking hectic.
So much is happening to us personally and to Jordan as well. Like, I feel like the three of us, the ex-best friends, have been going through some shit last year and then into this year even now.
When does it stop?
Yeah, when does it end? When do we get a break, actually?
We don't. You know why? Because we're fucking persistent. We're going to keep on pushing through and nothing can tear us down.
Before we finish, is there anything else that you feel like people don't know about the stripping world that is like a fun fact? Because literally everything you said blew my mind. I didn't know any of that stuff. I just literally thought in my head, Emily's out there partying at a job. I'm imagining it like a bar job, but you're like stripping at the same time. I didn't know how that business worked at all. I
think one huge misconception, and I think honestly TikTok did it, is that stripping is glamorous. I think as much as people are like, oh my god, like, you know, stripping is glamorized and all this stuff, like seriously, social media has made stripping just look like it's an easy job.
Like romanticize it a little bit?
Yeah, like as if stripping is something that anyone can go do. You can try it out, like, honestly, but, like, I think over COVID, when TikTok really blew up and then girls started doing, like, their money counts and stuff on TikTok, it flooded the industry.
Wow.
So money automatically went down because there was, 2 times the amount of girls in the club every night. The money after COVID was not anywhere near what it was.
No way.
Before COVID, and like girls were coming in and thinking that they could sit there and just make a quick buck.
Yeah.
And that's like something that has really, really, really like pissed off the girls who have been doing it for a long time.
As a proper, like, as their career.
Yeah, and there's lots of girls out there who are like survival strippers where it's like they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
They have to strip, they have to work in the sex industry, and that's a real thing. And some people are like, what the fuck is a survival stripper? It's like, or like an escort or anything like that. Like, there's people out there who genuinely don't have a choice. Like,
well, if you've never done anything else and that is your life.
And like some people's mental health can't like take on a full-time role. They can't make that sort of money doing normal people hours because you can't.
It's like anything. It's like the whole get rich quick thing. Like, I am someone who is the furthest person who could ever be a stripper. Couldn't dance to save my own life. If I saw a video of a girl just like counting fucking stacks, of course I'm gonna be like,
you're like,
I want that.
Yeah,
I want to do that.
Yeah, there was actually a few girls that started YouTube and TikTok who would go around and like travel. So they were like going to different clubs everywhere.
Traveling strippers.
Yeah, that's like a huge thing.
Wow.
Like, instead of being at one club, like they go to like where all the mining places are, because guys have nothing else to do. So they just spend money. But they would go and then they would come and work at the clubs that we were working at, and they would do like their videos and stuff on TikTok, and they would have money counted throughout the night at clubs where you don't get paid until the end of the shift. So it was like, how are you showing that you're making all this money when we get paid at the end of the night?
So some of it was a lie.
A lot of it was a lie. Or they'd go home and do their money count and grab money from nights before and count it and be like, oh my god, I made $4,000 tonight. And we're all like, it's dead season, it's quiet season. You can be the best hustler, but that consistent money is very rare.
Wow.
Unless you're like a fucking veteran and you just hustle hard and you have good ass regulars. Like, making that sort of money consistently is so glamorized.
Yeah, it's like anything on social media. Like, we have really learnt with social media, you need to take everything with a grain of salt, not believe everything that you see. Everything is glamorized. You can watch people who may seem like the richest person out there and not know that their parents are giving them money, which is fine, but it's like you have no idea someone's financial situation or any of their situations through social media.
Literally.
It is all it's all a facade. And not only is people being fake, people go through social media and like they make assumptions of other people. Like, when we got a Tesla, literally everyone was just like, so many people message us being like, oh my god, how the fuck did you even afford that? What do you do for work? Like, in a rude way. And I'd be like, hun, like, you can get a salary sacrifice.
Hun.
You can get a lease. You can get a loan. Like, I didn't go and buy an $80,000 car outright. You
cash.
assumed that. Yeah, in cash.
Oh, bitch.
You assumed that about me and then came at me and were being rude to me about it. And it's like, I'm not going to talk to you about my financial situation if that's how you're going to talk to me.
Yeah, you're
But
not
people
asking
just
for
assume.
advice. You're just being nosy.
Yeah.
And it's a huge difference. But yeah, social media can literally make anything look glamorized. And I think the sex industry has really fucking copped it, because like after COVID, oh my god, we'd have like 10 new girls every night that would just sit there, and they had no, like, not being mean, but they had like no personality.
Yeah.
They didn't really like look after themselves to a standard that like you kind of need to work in the industry, and they just thought that they were going to come in and make some quick bucks.
Yeah.
And it was really frustrating, because it was like some of them would come in and kill it.
Yeah.
And kill it, but like the turnover because of that was so high.
Yeah.
There was just new girls in the club, out of the club all the time. So it was like, you have to like be careful of your stuff in the back room, because you never know like what sort of girls. Yeah, you don't know the girls. You're like getting booked in bookings with girls that you don't know, and you're like carrying the booking for them.
Yeah, and they're making money even though you're the one dancing, going hard.
Yeah. So
wow,
it's definitely a misconception, and I don't think that honestly, as much as anyone wants to say, like, oh yeah, like anyone can do it, like they can't. And it takes a huge toll, like a huge toll on...
huge mental toll.
On you mentally, unless like you're... Oh my God, did they just crash into that car? Sorry. I thought that car just reversed straight into that car. If you like aren't in a good place mentally, it can really like push you back way further than what you would be if you weren't working in the industry.
Especially with like drinking and like just the whole aspect of it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so interesting. But just to finish off, you had a lot of fun.
So much fun.
It was a positive experience for you overall.
Yeah, I made it positive. Yeah. I kept it positive. I probably could have made a lot better choices over the last 3 years. And I'm glad now that I'm out of it and am going back into it. Spoiler alert.
Officially?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God. That's so exciting because you, like I literally said on the last podcast, you going back to dance makes you do things for you and your own choices and your path that you've carved out for yourself. And you're a dancer, so you get paid to dance. Yeah.
And that's the biggest reason why I wanted to do it in the first place. Because I was like, how can I make good money being a dancer?
Yeah. Strip club,
figured it out. So yeah, I'll be going back into it in the next few weeks.
Oh my God, so
and I have a completely different mindset about it this time.
Yeah.
I have my course which like keeps me on track, whereas like when I was stripping before, that was my whole life.
You could just party and be hungover.
I had no reason to get my shit together.
Yeah.
And now I'm like doing things to like really pursue myself forwards into like where I want to set my dreams up and everything like that. So working in an industry where I know it, I'm fucking good at it. I don't care what anyone has to fucking say. I'm a bomb ass motherfucking stripper, and I'm gonna make bank and I'm gonna save it.
And invest it and be smart with it.
And I'm going to save it. I'm going to pay off my little debts. And then I'm just going to...
You're going to kill it.
And I'm not going to be an alcoholic.
You're going to kill it. It's going to be
positive.
You're going to kill it. I'm so excited for you.
Me too. I can't wait to shake my fucking ass again. Ah!
I'm excited to come watch you again too, because that, honestly, I'd never been to a strip club in my whole entire life, and then the first time I go is to watch Emily, and as soon as she sees us, she's like, sit down, I'm putting on a show for you. And honestly, it was fucking sick, because I had never seen you dance like that. I've seen you dance like when we're partying and stuff, but I've never seen you professionally dance. And all these fucking guys around you, as soon as you started dancing, it was just like they were like mesmerized. And they're all just staring at you, and you were just doing a private show for me and Bianca. We were sitting on the couch, and I was just like, this is sick. Like, this is you.
I love
you
holding
fucking
that power. I love watching the eyes just stare at me like I've never seen anything like this. Because, like,
literally,
because I'm a dancer, it's like I know how to, like, sell stage presence.
Oh, you were fully doing a show, like a full-on show.
Period. And I know how to shake my butt way better now than I did 3 years ago. So
exciting.
I'm going to make so much money.
I'm so keen. So one time in the future, there'll be a podcast where we go, forward in time to find out how you're going with your stripping. But this video was just like a little touch base to get some insight into the stripping world from someone who's been in it, because a lot of us...
So many people are like interested in it.
Oh, it's so interesting because it's so different, and it's so, behind closed doors, and yes, there's social media and stuff talking about it now, but you can't go in there filming. Like, people don't know what happens in there.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting to me, and I can't wait to come watch you strip.
I can't wait.